I'm standing in front of a burning wall of fire. We are several feet away from it, and you can just feel the heat emanating off of this. And all of that came down and flooded Manning. And as you take a look behind me, you can see a tow truck right here. They just took a semi-truck away that had gone off the side of the road. Jason, I just talked to a woman who was inside the building when the gunman came inside. The ambulance is just leaving right now. They pulled the man out, and that ambulance, we're told, is headed to a football field where he will be airlifted. And in local coffee shops, that's where the cold brew trend is really taking off, especially in the heat of summer. You know, it's only been a few hours since the Oscars ended, but you can see the teardown is pretty much complete.
New video from the Coast Guard in Alaska of a daring rescue that saved 46 people. The crew was aboard a 200-foot fishing boat that started sinking last night in the Bering Sea. Federal investigators from at least 3 agencies are now on the scene of that hot air balloon crash in central Texas, the deadliest in United States history. We start tonight with breaking news this evening. Firefighters are battling a large debris fire in downtown Fresno. This is a live look at the scene there. It started about 5:30, just a little bit ago, on Parallel Street near Highway 41 and Ventura. At one point, a large plume of smoke was filling the sky, and it now looks like crews have it under control for the most part. Tonight, expect mostly clear skies in the valley with overnight lows in the mid-50s to lower 60s. There are going to be some areas of haze and smoke from those wildfires that we've been talking about burning across the region.
And this road behind me was bumper to bumper for hours. It's now finally calming down, steady as you can see, hours since the president has spoken. Many people in the park were hoping to catch a glimpse of the first family, but I have to tell you, there were a lot of parts in the park where there were some sour people. Tours stopped in their tracks, in awe of the president and in shock of the gridlock.
We have not been able to move any place in the park. Nobody can come in, nobody can go out.
For hours before, during, and after Mr. Obama's speech, nearly all traffic in Yosemite National Park,
I know, everybody's trying to leave,
at a standstill.
And it's really unfortunate that 4 people can jam up at least 100,000.
Everyone out of the road.
As rangers pushed people to make way for the president's arrival, roadblocks took on a whole new meaning.
The RV over here, they decided that needed to move. They tried to take the turn, and now they're stuck on a tree. And we're just waiting to see because it's blocking the only view of the president right now. We had no idea about the fiasco that was going to happen today.
Even hiking trails restricted. Lower Yosemite Falls, a popular destination, closed off to the public. Roads became parking lots, and parking lots, the new local hangout.
Wish we could get a move on, but I mean, you're in Yosemite, how much can you really complain?
And when it came time for the speech, a grainy-looking dot was as close as many could get. But for some, that's close enough. Chandra Parrish is the first to admit life with a mental illness can be heartbreaking.
Because I have no family in this town. I have no one here that's able to help me.
She suffers from bipolar disorder and multiple personality disorder. And if it wasn't for this home, she says her and the other tenants here would be homeless.
We want to have a home. We want to have a life. We want to have a good life, a fulfilled life. And she lets us have that.
Parrish is talking about Elenita Verano, a woman loved by her subletters, but loathed by authorities.
I like having my own space. And Miss Verano gave me that opportunity to have my own space and be able to have my own privacy.
Verano doesn't hide the fact her business model is different.
Those are cabinets, actually, that are freestanding. And we just have the door there.
She rents homes, divides them up, then sublets the homes to people who otherwise couldn't afford it.
I'm not in the business of subletting. I don't want to call it that way. What I do is I provide affordable housing to disadvantaged people.
But Fresno police say it's not that simple. Many of the homes are being monitored by investigators because of code violations and repeated complaints from neighbors. The home where Fire Captain Pete Dern fell through a roof was a residence she was subletting at the time of the fire, and a former tenant she subletted to is accused of starting that blaze.
Legal analyst Tony Capozzi says this type of business plan isn't uncommon.
Well, I think more and more people are being released from jail or not getting into the various mental health facilities, and there's nowhere for them to go, and something like this provides an opportunity.
Verano defends her actions and says she's not taking advantage of an opportunity, but helping people like Parrish who need a home.
You know, and that's all thanks to Ms. Verano. I mean, she's the best woman in the world. I love her.
Caitlin Loki is tackling extreme weight loss with an extreme goal. In an Action News special assignment, anchor Veronica Miracle followed a woman who once weighed almost 400 pounds on the grueling climb to the top of Half Dome.
A climb without an uphill battle would be no journey at all.
I have to make it to the top of this mountain.
It's before dawn, and Caitlin Loki faces round trip more than 16 miles.
Half Dome was definitely the one that I wanted to do, because it's just always been in front of me. I just never thought it was possible.
The first part of the hike, she's speeding up the mountain, driven by her friends, part trainers, part motivators. But something else was pulling her to the top. Her dad, who died when she was 25.
He taught me a lot about working hard for what I want.
And she's been training for this climb for more than a year.
5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have even stepped foot in the park.
Back then, Loki weighed almost 400 pounds.
And I remember thinking to myself, this is ridiculous, you know, like I can't even hardly walk at all. We get out of bed and I'd almost fall over, and I was just like, you know, something needs to change.
With gastric bypass surgery, in 1 year she dropped 8 dress sizes.
Getting to this point was not easy. And, you know, I know that my dad's looking down and he's proud of me.
I am feeling it in my feet and my legs.
For the unprepared, the subdome is one of the hardest parts of the climb. It's the final ascent before the cables, where your physical strength and mental vigor is vital.
The biggest goal of my life is staring me in the face. This part right here is probably my hardest right now, because I can feel it. My body's starting to feel what we've been going through.
My body is capable of doing some amazing things, and Caitlin's definitely proven that to be true.
The final 400 feet, and at times vertical ascent, is arguably the hardest. It's on this part of the hike where people have died.
This represents a lot of things. Getting through so much pain and heartache. Oh my gosh, that just happened.
You're not at the top yet.
We're almost there.
There.
Oh my God.
Now you're at the top.
Oh my gosh. Wow. The entire world. The fact that I just did that, I didn't even know I could.
You did awesome.
So did you.
Overcoming an obstacle never meant so much.
I wish my dad was here to see all these things that happen. He pushed me every step of the way, that's for sure.
And a dome this size never seemed so small.
This is the top of the world.
In Yosemite National Park,
I'm incredibly lucky.
Veronica Miracle.
This is one of the best days of my entire life.
ABC 30, Action News.